Oh, welcome back to Steve's Corner. I got to apologize for not posting a video on here in a couple of weeks. Well, there's a lot going on down here on the corner, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. Might help if I adjust that a little bit, hadn't it? How's that? So I figure I'd make a catch-up video to let you know what all has been going on down here. And then we'll get back on schedule this week, I hope. I hadn't said anything on here, but Mama died last December, right after Christmas. So I've had a lot going on. Ain't nothing hard, man. It's just time consuming, and I've just been doing it a little bit here and a little bit there. I wanted to be finished up in April, but I got sick and wasn't able to tackle it the way I wanted to. And I don't go over there every day. It's just once in a while for an hour or so to do things. It's just mainly paperwork and appointments and, you know, renaming stuff and junk like that. And the hardest part, man, the most time consuming has been actually cleaning out the place and you know, going to the the dump and donating stuff and getting rid of the stuff and cleaning it. You know, once you get everything out of there, then you go through there and clean up the walls and the floors and just give it a once over. You know, that's the time consuming. Now that I'm finished all that, things ought to get back to normal. You know, I forgot to give you a daggone title to the video. Are you ready for the summer? Are you ready for the sunshine? The birds and the bees, apple trees, and fooling around. That was the opening song to Meatballs. I used to love that movie. They used to show it every year about this time when school gets out. And I just thought it was appropriate. And around here they always show, what's that one with Bluto in it? What's his name? Dadgummit, I can't believe I forgot that guy's name. He played in the the Blues Brothers. Daggone, I can't remember that name. But the name of it, what was the name of that? Animal House. That was it. They always played that about the time school started back up around here. I ain't seen it come on TV today, or since. What it is what last Friday was last day of school here. My daughter's a teacher, and we always used to get out about this time every year. The first week of June was our last week usually, but they've changed things around now, and they get out a little bit earlier. And summer schools around here are actually going year round. I think that would suck. I don't know that I could I'd like that at all. No, I wouldn't like that. But now around here, everybody gets out about this time every year. Well, actually, yeah, they started last week, graduations up in Richmond. They always go up to I think it's the Arthur Ashe Center up yonder. And that's where all the schools hold their graduations. No more down on the football field and stuff. Which is nice, because you can't ever tell whether it's going to be 100 degrees this time of year or whether it's going to be 70 and rain. So that gets, you know, the older people, the grandparents and stuff, they can go see it in comfort, you know. But a lot of traffic up there, and I hate it. That's the only time I've ever been to the Ashe Centers twice. Once when my son graduated, once when my daughter graduated. Hopefully I never have to go up there again. But speaking of rain, man, it's been pouring down here the past couple of weeks. This is the first week they really ain't calling for any. And the temperatures have turned off nice. Man, I like the froze past couple of weeks. It'd get down in the 50s. It might have been 60 for the high. I don't take that weather too well. I just don't. Never have. I much prefer it in the 90s, and I do that. It's hot, sure, man, but I adjust to it pretty well, and I can cool off. In the wintertime, sometimes I never get warm all day long. I was at work before, and I'd call a baby before I come home and say, hey, man, how about start a pot of coffee? I've been chilled to the bone, and because you get chilled to the bone, it's hard to warm up. You're cold forever, it feels like. So she'd have a pot of coffee on, and I'd take a couple of cups of that and try to warm up. So And it don't take me long to do most things outside. About an hour or so, I can go in and cool off for a minute. I can come back out and work. Ain't that big a deal for me. I'd much rather have it to be warm than cold. If I've got to be outside. Because I can't be outside long in the wintertime if it's cold, man. I freeze too easy. My fingers get numb, even with gloves on, man. But then it don't get that cold here. I'd much rather have the sun shining in 85 or 90 degrees than I would 30 or below. Snow. I can't take it. I'm a sissy when it comes to the weather, Doc. But so yeah. Oh, and one other big thing happened here was last week. I did a video about it, about this guy last year, I believe it was, when they was renaming everything. You know, Fort Lee, they changed into, I forget the name of it now. It's named after them two soldiers. One of them was a book I read about the lady. She was in charge of the post office and or the postal service for the soldiers over in the Second World War over in Europe. I think, yeah. And I think she was a major. And then I can't remember what the other guy did. And Fort Bragg, they changed that one too. And the road out yonder, there used to be Jeff Davis Highway, now it's historic 301. And there's a school right down the road here. It's a community college. Ain't but a couple miles right around the corner up yonder. It used to be named John Tyler Community College, and now it's Bright Point Community College. But Harrison Tyler, he died last week. He was 96. He was President John Tyler's last surviving grandchild. And President Tyler was, that's who that school was named after. And he was the 10th U.S. president. He was president before the Civil War. They did a little article about him up here. And they said that the time between his granddad's death and his death was something like 235 years. I mean, that's phenomenal. It always amazed me. They did a little thing on PBS up here. They went and interviewed him, I guess when he was in his 60s or 70s. And he's a big-time historian. He really liked history. As a matter of fact, his family had to sell Sherwood Forest Plantation. That was where John Tyler was born, right down there in Charles City. And he eventually bought it back and redone it and made it a working plantation again. I don't think you can go visit that one, but Berkeley and Shirley, I think you can. There's 3 of them down there on the river down there in Charles City. Berkeley, Shirley, and Sherwood Forest. I don't know if they're all open. I'm pretty sure we've been to Berkeley and Shirley before. So, but he bought that back. He started a company, I think it's Chemtree, I believe was the name of the company he started when he sold that. And, but I just think that's amazing. You know, his granddad was the 10th president. I mean, that means he was, you know, a constituent of all the big time people, man. You know, it's just amazing to me. Founding father, I mean, he was essentially a founding father of the U.S. Because we're on, what, 47 now. 37 presidents ago. That's amazed me. But anyway, I'll take you a walk around, show you the garden, see how it's growing. See how Steve's garden grows. And show you a couple of projects I drug up. I'm never lacking for something to do. Let's go take a look at that, and then I'll let y'all be. And I got a ton of comments to answer from y'all, man, and I appreciate you giving them out even when I wasn't answering them, but I'll get on them. And we'll post this today, and just as a catch-up video, and then we'll go from there. This is my first one. I don't know What it is, one of my little ladies was wanting to go away. She was wanting to do away with, she had some trash. I had a load, that last load I took over from Mom and Daddy's. I told her I had some room on the truck, might as well fill it up. So she had a couple things she wanted to throw away. And this was one of them. I was going to haul it to the dump, but I got to thinking about it, and I said, you know what, that'd be a perfect rain barrel, catch rainwater in it. But thing is, you ain't got much coverage over there. There's not much collection space here. It really don't work unless you put it underneath a gutter or something. Then you collect a lot of rain. I don't care how much it rains, you just don't collect a lot in this unless you got something feeding it. So I figured I'd go ahead and take it to the dump. But they won't take it to the dump unless I cut the bottom off of it, because the water's supposed to be able to pass through it. So I'll keep it for a little while. If I don't figure something else out to do with it, I'll cut the bottom off of it. Actually, what I'll do, I'll just cut it up in little sections and throw it in the trash can over yonder. So there's that. And then we got these. This is two, she was tossing these out. These are two butterfly chairs. I can't pull one out by single-handed, I don't believe. Not bad single-handed, huh? But you buy a cloth that goes over it, hooks around the corners, and it kind of sits in there like that. And I figured, hey man, you know what? I kind of like the way those things sit. If I can fit in them, it might be too low for me to get out of. I'll keep those, and I'll go online and see if I can't find the cloth to go over it. I ain't told the baby yet, but she'll be ticked off. I hauled away some of them folding lawn chairs years ago. I just threw them in the backyard here until I could find some webbing to put on them. But they eventually broke on me, so I had to get rid of them. They were just aluminum, you know, them old cheap things. And then we'll step out here to take. I gotta cut grass as soon as I finish this video. I wasn't able to last week. It just rained every day. And I like to let it sit for a couple of days, a day or two, and dry out good before I cut it. Just because the mower cuts better if the grass is dry. Simple as that. I mean, I can cut it when it's wet, but I don't. But here's my cucumbers growing. Got a lot of blooms on them. I don't think I've got any cucumbers showing yet. Now I'm getting something on my daggone squash. I've never got that before. I don't know if it's because of all that rain and it's mildew coming on them or what. I'm gonna have to investigate that. But I got a bunch of blooms on there. A lot of little squash showing up down yonder. Let's see if you can see those down there on the. Got a pretty good size one back here. Won't be long, we'll be eating squash. And my tomatoes have got blooms on them. They're starting to, ain't producing nothing yet, but they're starting to bloom. And they're doing all right. We had well, I'm losing this one here. I don't know what got on that one. Something got that one, but everything else is doing pretty good. But we had a bad rain past couple of weeks, and it had some wind in it, and I wasn't able to get out and tie them up at the top. I got the first couple strings put on them, but still a lot of them bent over, so I had in the storm, so I had to come out here and straighten them up and tie up the top a little bit of them. Then my peppers. I actually got some peppers actually starting. Yeah. They're blooming. Here's a little bitty pepper right there. I think it might have been a bloom. I really can't see it from the top side. And I still got to put my post here and one down on that end so I can string my beans up. I'm going to string them up here, keep them off this fence. Last year I let them climb the fence and the deer got everything. So yeah, I think there's a little pepper right there. That way you can see that. I pulled some of my spring onions already. Took them over to my little lady. So, even got squash on these ones I'm growing in the bag here. But that the weather's really hampered me out here. I ain't been able to get to it and catch it early enough to stop that mold or mildew or whatever it is. I'm gonna have to investigate that and try to clear it up. I love my squash. Fried, rolled in some flour, a little bit of salt and pepper, and deep fried. Man, I eat it like it's daggone tater chips. It might as well be candy to me. So, and I cleaned my shed out. And I still got that old wheelbarrow I got to tackle. Since I've been so busy, I really ain't got started on my summer of history learning yet. Got a lot of places I want to go. Shirley and Berkeley is one of them. I'd like to go down, you know, we've been down there before, but I thought y'all would get a kick out of them. Berkeley's actually the first place in the country for an official Thanksgiving. They actually had a piece of paper in 1619, 2 years before the Pilgrims got here, that said they were supposed to give thanks the day they arrived, and it was supposed to be a yearly event. So there's no documentation they actually did it, but there is documentation that says that they was given a grant by somebody, or orders by whoever sent them over here to make it a day of Thanksgiving. And at that time it was mainly just a religious affair. It wasn't a big meal and everything we see it today, but it was supposed to be an everyday thing. But the Indians attacked and they pulled them out of there, and it was years before they went back. So, but I want to get there. And I want to get to I want to go get to that tractor museum. There's a little place over in the mountains, about a 3-hour drive, where Audie Murphy, they got a monument to him. It's right there on the Appalachian Trail, and it's only about a 3-hour drive. I can make that and back in a day. And I want to go see it. I mean, he was the most decorated soldier in the Second World War or something like that. U.S. soldier. He even got medals from the French and stuff. And he was only like 19 or something like that. It always amazed me, his story. I seen his movie, To Hell and Back. And I remember when I was a kid watching it, I was telling Dad about it. He said, well, that's Audie Murphy there. I said, no, that's his life story. He said, no, he's playing himself. I said, oh, I didn't even know who it was. So, and we got a little up the road here, about a mile or so. Around the corner, every Saturday they have a car show. I usually get up there about once every year, just to take a look at everything. So I'd like to get up yonder. I hadn't been able to make it yet. They have it once a week on Saturday night evening, I believe, about 6 o'clock, something like that. So, but anyways, that's what's been going on down on the corner. I'll get on your comments, man. I appreciate you putting them out, and I feel bad about not answering them. I feel bad about not making a video, but it's just one thing after another down here this year, and I'm running behind on everything. I even made a video cooking on the griddle over there. I just ain't never posted it. So, but anyways, man, y'all take care of yourself. You make a great day out of it. Make a great week out of it. Finally quit raining. I can't wait. I'm gonna get in the house and change into my homemade wife beater and get on that mower and see if I can't cut some of these weeds down in here. Y'all take care. We'll talk with you later.